Welcome! Today we are exploring a deeply profound perspective on human suffering and endurance. In this explainer, we're going to look at the anatomy of hardship through a really powerful framework presented by Mufti Menk. We aren't just looking at how to survive a storm, but how to understand the specific spiritual signals that tell us a period of intense difficulty is finally drawing to a close. So whether you're currently navigating a major life setback right now, or you just want to understand the profound mechanics of resilience and faith, this breakdown is going to guide you through the journey of enduring life's trials and finding some lasting peace. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. You know those moments in life when the weight sitting squarely on your chest feels absolutely unbearable? Yeah. According to the source material, this is a completely universal human experience. Your patience is stretched thin, your prayers, they seem delayed, you wake up exhausted, and you go to sleep literally consumed by worry. And somewhere deep inside all that exhaustion, there's this agonizing question echoing on repeat: when will this test end? It's just this desperate desire for immediate relief, right? But the framework we're examining today suggests that to find the answer, we actually have to completely reframe how we view the test itself.
And that brings us to the core premise of this entire spiritual framework. Allah does not test you to break you. He tests you to shape you. The source explains that spiritual tests are inherently designed not for your destruction, but for your personal elevation. Think about a major modern hardship, maybe losing a job that you tied your whole identity to, or facing a really painful personal rejection. The hardship is meant to bring you to a level of spiritual closeness and personal growth that comfort, by its very nature, simply never could. Just as every storm eventually runs out of rain, every spiritual test absolutely has an end. And more importantly, it carries specific signs that its conclusion is near.
So, what's the first major sign that a test is nearing its end? Well, it actually isn't an external change, but a profound internal shift. You transition from feeling entirely restless and broken to experiencing this quiet trust. What's absolutely fascinating here is that the problem itself, it still exists. The situation hasn't changed at all, but your reaction to it completely transforms. All that overwhelming panic, the heavy heart, the constant restless searching for answers, it's subtly replaced by an unexpected, steady calmness that just kind of settles within your heart. Now, this calmness is defined in the spiritual context as rahmah, or mercy. It's really crucial to understand this dynamic. If you're feeling an unexpected calm, it doesn't mean you're just giving up or being defeated by the problem. Not at all. Instead, the source notes that this is actually a form of deep inner strength placed directly into your heart. It's a hidden mercy acting as a signal that your soul is adapting, it's growing, and it's actually being prepared to receive relief. You're no longer panicking because, well, your trust has deepened. As that internal calm really takes root, your emotions stabilize into a state of sabr, which translates to patience. The framework clarifies a super important distinction here. This does not mean you miraculously stop feeling pain. Rather, your emotional pain is now accompanied by a lasting hope and a really firm belief that you won't be abandoned. Through this patience, you stop rushing the outcome, you stop demanding an immediate fix, and you start accepting the process, realizing that every single delay carries hidden goodness and wisdom. Now, what's really interesting here is the evolution of the requests you make. At the beginning of a hardship, human nature dictates a very specific, frantic request, right? Remove this problem. The focus is entirely on the pain and that urgent desire for a quick fix. But as the test matures you, something much deeper develops. Your prayers shift towards strengthen me, guide me, keep me close to you. Your heart actually detaches from simply demanding a specific outcome and attaches instead to seeking a stronger spiritual connection and finding comfort in the creator of that outcome. With this shifted focus, acts of ibadah and sujud, worship and prostration undergo a total transformation. They're no longer these rushed, mere obligations on a checklist. They become genuine places of peace. The source highlights a very relatable shift during this phase. You know that desperate urge to pick up the phone and vent to 5 different friends? Well, suddenly, that's replaced by the profound desire to just sit quietly in prayer. You stop seeking constant reassurance from everyone around you because you realize that while people can definitely offer support, true healing and comfort are found in this direct, unhurried connection. Your heart just feels less empty because it's being filled with spiritual remembrance. And when relief does finally begin to manifest externally, it rarely arrives in one sudden dramatic moment where everything is instantly perfect. Instead, the explainer notes that ease arrives quietly, usually through small, carefully placed openings. Maybe a new opportunity appears at a dead end, or support comes from a totally unexpected person. A blocked path cracks open just a little bit. And the sheer intensity of the burden, it just feels gradually lighter. These aren't random coincidences, folks. They are deliberate, gradual shifts designed to ease you out of the hardship, step by step.
Recognizing these small step-by-step improvements is a vital test of awareness, and it directly strengthens your iman, or faith. Think about it. If you're entirely obsessed with getting that final perfect outcome, aren't you going to completely miss these subtle signs of arriving relief? You'll feel like absolutely nothing is changing. But by noticing and actually valuing every minor improvement, you cultivate a really deep gratitude. This gratitude proves to you that you are being taken care of, reinforcing your faith and replacing all that despair with a quiet confidence that things are indeed improving. And this brilliantly illustrates how time matures your perspective, finally revealing reality. In the thick of the test, everything feels incredibly confusing. It's like a giant puzzle. But eventually, you begin to connect the dots. What initially felt like a devastating loss is revealed as a necessary protection from something much, much worse. What felt like an agonizing delay was actually absolutely perfect timing. This realization transforms your past pain into clear purpose. You see exactly why certain doors had to close and why certain plans had to fail for you to arrive safely right where you are meant to be. Once your perspective matures like this, your internal monologue changes. You move away from that desperate, agonizing search for explanations, the constant, why did this happen to me? Instead, you arrive at a place of peaceful surrender, Alhamdulillah for everything. This is a state of deep contentment that actively removes all regret. You no longer wish things had happened differently because you finally understand that every painful experience was a perfectly tailored part of a much larger plan for your ultimate growth. Saying Alhamdulillah, praise be to God, at this stage is not just a verbal habit. It's expressed with profound understanding and complete contentment. The source emphasizes an incredibly powerful concept here, and it's something you really need to hear. Reaching this level of genuine gratitude indicates that your heart has successfully learned the lesson the hardship was meant to teach. And once the lesson is truly understood, the difficulty often no longer needs to continue in the same way. The test has fulfilled its purpose. This state of mind is beautifully encapsulated in this thought from the source. Worrying will not change what is written, but trusting Allah can change how you experience it. Man, letting go of the desperate, exhausting need to control every single variable removes a massive emotional burden from your shoulders. It grants you profound clarity. You accept that the ultimate plan is far greater than your limited understanding, which allows you to experience the journey with peace rather than endless draining anxiety. Let's move to how this all builds together. Ultimately, the greatest outcome of the test isn't just that the pain stops. It's the transformation of the person you become through the whole process. You enter step 1 feeling broken and completely overwhelmed. You move to step 2, where the struggle forces you to become patient, stripping away pride and making you humble. And finally, you reach step 3, emerging incredibly stronger, highly empathetic to the struggles of others, and deeply spiritually connected. You've literally been rebuilt into a better, wiser version of yourself. Which brings us to the final stage before ease fully arrives. The source describes it as a quiet, steady certainty that relief is near. It completely replaces fear and anxiety. You no longer fear the outcome, whatever it might be. You feel so deeply at peace and so unburdened by the what-ifs that you actually find yourself encouraging and comforting others, even while you are still technically in the middle of your own struggle. Your pain hasn't made you bitter. It has made you better. So what does this all mean for you right now? If the true purpose of your hardship is not to break you, but to completely rebuild you into a much better, stronger, and more connected version of yourself, who are you becoming? Take a moment today to look past the pain of your current trials and try to recognize the incredible growth that is quietly emerging within you. That growth, that is the ultimate sign that ease is on its way.